and the online internet money market, where we attempt to increase our online coin valuations. Loaded up for discussion today, we have some coins going up, like Bitcoin, which is touching 97K, because Saylor is doubling Strategy's capital plan with a fresh $21 billion offering. But some coins are going down to Movement Labs. Coins are down 20% because co-founder Rishi Manch is suspended in light of ongoing events. In quotes, there's an investigation ongoing into governance and market maker incidents. We've been talking about that. There's been a lot of controversy going on. We'll try to give you the information that we have available to us, and then we will discuss it as well. I think we have some takes on that. And then finally, very, very interestingly, the meme coin landscape is heating up again. Boop, the new meme launchpad by Whale Dingaling, launched with a claim which requires top yappers to launch their own coin. What a moral quandary. How moral are your top yappers? Or should morals be kept out of it? We'll discuss trading. It's trading at the moment at 400 mil. Not bad at all in this market. We've also got the latest on price action on crypto and NFTs as usual, plus a general discussion on market rotations. As usual, got legend. We do not have legendary today. Just getting into my, just in the zone, going through the motions. We do not have legendary today. We have Bread and we have the legend Funky with us in the co-host seats. We're ready to get into it. But just a reminder, friends, before we do, that nothing that we say here is financial advice. This market is so unbelievably risky, and therefore you should use your own judgment, think about things through, and do your own research. So that's that. With that out of the way, Bread, it's Friday. It's the 2nd of May. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Doing good. Feeling meh. I'm fighting something right now. I don't know what it is. My girl she was gone for like 10 days. It was boys' weekend for 10 days. It was awesome. But I'm glad to have her back. Unfortunately, she came back right as I got sick, and now she is sick. So we're both at home fighting the fight. A little stuffy, little coffee. And I hear it on Spaces too. Other people are fighting something as well. But having not gone to the conference, I'm wondering if that's where they got it from. I don't think so. But there's something going around right now. I'm surviving. We're out here. We're still playing the game. We're booping some people occasionally. But
is this your body getting an allergic reaction to not being able to launch the coin? Like your body wants to launch the coin, your mind is telling you no, and you're just getting sick and torn up inside.
You know, I know the exact moment I got sick. I don't understand. I don't understand how that's the case. Because I get up so early these days, I frequently take unplanned naps in the middle of the day.
Okay.
We'll call it. And I was perfectly fine going into the nap. I woke up and I was sick as a dog. I don't understand how that's possible, but like that 30-minute window, my body just shut down. Apparently, so yeah, yeah, man. I don't know. That was like 4 days ago. So I'm on the other side of it. I'm coming back up. But yeah, she's now going through the thick of it.
Damn. Okay. Well, at least you can trace it. It's quite strategic. That's very like pinpoint.
Yeah, man. I got
it to the
SEAL Team
specific
6 of viruses. Apparently, I took a nap and the thing fucking dunked on me.
Not great. Not great at all. Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely want to hear your thoughts on Boop anyway, whether or not that is the cause of your current ailment. Funky, you're with us as well, joining from hotel lobby, looking fresh. How you doing, my man? Good to have you with us today.
It's a great lobby down here. A lot of awesome lights and Bread. You know, I think you're right. Something must be going around. I know my wife was just feeling ill right before I came to Dubai, and she was worried that I was going to get it. And knock on wood, I haven't. It's been a great time enjoying Token 2049, all the side events and everything. Got to see you. Got to finally meet Legendary. Dinner was amazing. The breakfast that we held, of course, was incredible. Meeting a lot of other folks and fans of the modern market. I feel like Max, your friend, who's a philosophy guy, should be here on today's episode just to have now that we're discussing the moral conundrum of Boop and what that entails. So excited for today's episode and the conversation.
Yeah, me too. Bread, I think next we can't do another one of these without you. Did you have any FOMO from the event? It was bittersweet.
Yeah,
it was good. It was good to do it, but we missed you. We missed you on that one.
Yeah, I am a little a little jealous of some of the stuff. I think like one, like I've been traveling a lot the last few years, so like settling down is not a horrible thing. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I got a home, I got a rhythm, and with my other half being gone for a while, I had like extra home time where just like me and my domain doing my shit. But yeah, I like talking to people, I like seeing people, I like getting the IRL stuff. I know Funky and I had the pleasure of meeting recently. B-Check, and I met Legendary in his hometown as I traveled through it, but I have not met any of you three in the same location. So what was it? It was Singapore. Funky, where were we at? Were we at Denver?
Yeah, East Denver.
Yeah, so Singapore, Denver, and Vienna is where I met you three.
Yeah.
I would much rather have all of you come to me in some fashion.
Maybe this Mega ETH tour that you guys are going on, we're gonna have to tag along at some point. And maybe the crew, whole modern market crew, can crash.
For real, I'm gonna put out a PSA on that because like it's a little bit of a competition. So for people in the crowd not listening, right? We have an accelerator. If you guys know anyone who is a builder in this space, who is ambitious, talented, we don't even need a product. Like we want people. Like we will get people and we will give them ideas. We'll iterate with stuff. We'll even give them CTOs, co-founders, whatever, or the CEOs if they are the CTO. The accelerator year-long program. We are gonna live with these people in Tokyo, in Copenhagen, and in New York for 30 days at a time, all expenses paid. They will come with us. They will live with us. We rented out these areas. They will be with 15 other founders, and you can ideate, create, do whatever. I want to find someone that's a fucking stud, and I want them to be my person.
Do you say we don't even need an idea?
No,
well, we need
you don't need an idea. You don't need an idea. You need to be an ambitious person with skills that thinks outside the box.
Person, right. Okay. For a moment there, it sounded like you just needed a person.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yes, we do need peoples. We think like our personal networks will probably get, like 60, 70% of the actual seats filled. Again, 15 teams. But it's going to be them. It's going to be the Mega team. It's going to be the Mega Mafia, the original group. So like GTE, Noise, those founders. That's how all these apps were created. We found people who didn't even know what the fuck they were going to do. And we sat there and we chilled with them for literally half a year at a time, co-living with them. We did it in Berlin. We did it in Chiang Mai. We did it, in several places. And we were just like, what do you want to do? Like, what are your ideas? These are some ideas that we have. And does that sound cool? Oh, here's someone else that's building something that needs someone complementary. They need someone that can do the business side because they're the CTO. That's how you got Hop Protocol, which is a decentralized VPN. That's how you got Noise, which is the trading trend stuff. GTE, like we leverage our networks to build this stuff and to leverage like Mega ETH, the tech, and we're just like most of these ecosystems fuck up and they don't actually like bet on teams because they're too afraid to have an opinion. They want to be net neutral. They want to do whatever. We're being very opinionated with teams that show a desire to build on us. And this is another iteration of that program, and we're taking a big bet on these people. So if you can find someone, it's a hell of an opportunity. It's amazing.
I like it. Sounds fun. Sounds like we're gonna have to crash at some point for sure. In the comments, Oxy asking when's there gonna be a stateside meetup. DJ Soy asking for the Hong Kong meetup. They're gonna come. Give it time.
I'd love to go.
We're gonna integrate all of these. They'll be there. We're gonna come and see you guys. Right, let's get into the main stuff as usual. We've got a lot of stuff to get into today, starting with the price action as usual. We're gonna hit the majors. We've got Bitcoin is just up 1% to 96.9k. I think it hit 97 not a long time ago, so that was good. ETH still at 1.8k as usual. XRP is flat at $2.20. Solana is down 1% to 150. In terms of the meme coin side of things, we have Doge up 1% to 18 cents. We got Trump down 6%, Bonks down 6, Fartcoins down 4, Pengu's down 9, Whiff is down 6. So I'd say a lot of the memes are down, maybe 5-6%. But on the AI side, actually, today we had a bit more of a move up. So we had things like Turbo going up 25%. There was a couple of the AI ones to note. I would say AIXBT is up a couple of percent. Alchemist AI is up 11%. So a little bit of a move there. Brad, did you want to come in?
Yeah, I just realized like you're not showing your screen. I'm trying to track this. I am on these CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko sites so infrequently. I can't keep up with you. I don't know where you're going. Like you're clicking buttons and you're going looking through memes and you're doing stuff, and I'm just like I'm lost. I don't know how to see this stuff. because I
right.
so infrequently look at price. Except I looked today and I noticed that hype is up to $20. And last time I said I was going to buy it was at $18. So I've immediately missed a move. Sidelined. I am.
Sidelined. You said specifically that you were going to buy hype the other day, Brad. I know that it's our responsibility to sell assets for you, but you're supposed to at least do the buying yourself. I thought you did that bit yourself.
Yeah, I think I covered this on maybe it was Wednesday with Legendary. I'm gonna be honest, I was behind on my taxes. 2023 wasn't settled. I finally got that settled this week, and now that I do, I actually got money back, which was awesome. And now I can settle 2024. And now that I have at least some parameters of like what I have owed, I didn't want to jeopardize any money, right? Any stables that I had. It's like now we're cool, we're good. Now I can just start yeeting some shit into the ether.
Okay, like it. That's very, very good. That's good to hear. Now you can buy the hype that you were supposed to buy beforehand. Okay, just a quick message before we get into the rest of the prices. Remember, we're doing this like in a bit of a remote setup at the moment. If there is any emergency, if it seems to go down for you, we'll probably all migrate to the Twitter Spaces. So if you're watching on video, whether that's on Twitter video or on YouTube, we'll probably migrate into the Twitter Spaces. It's like a lot to manage when we're doing this remotely. So apologies if there's any like inconvenience at any point, but do bear with us. Right, so we did the main price action. We did the meme coin stuff. Getting into the headlines themselves, the key things we're going to be discussing today after we do a little bit of general price stuff is, I'm going to get to it here. We have, where are we? We've got Bitcoin touching 97K, Sailor's doubling the amount of that he's trying to get hold of Bitcoin as usual. There's a fresh $21 billion offering. Funky's going to touch on that a little bit later. Had the co-founder of Movement Labs, Rushi, suspended in light of the ongoing events. We spoke a little bit about all of those leaks, the leaks that were coming out of Movement Labs yesterday. So that looks pretty damning at the moment, to be honest. The Move token's down 20% on that news, and it's still, relatively speaking, pretty damn high for something which has not really shipped and is going through this turmoil. So we'll touch on that. Boop, the new meme launchpad by Whale Dingaling, launched with Claim, which requires top yappers to launch their own coin. It's actually trading at 400 mil, so not doing at all bad in that respect for the moment. Notable price action in general got moved down 22%, as I said, after co-founder Rishi Mantra was suspended. Got the AI coins up in general, so that was something to note on the price action side. Getting into NFTs, we had some notable sales. We had Beeple, Politics is Bullshit, selling for 55 ETH. We had Tyler Hobbs, Fidenza, selling for 47.25, and a Trippy Bored Ape sold for 29.5 ETH. The Bored Ape ecosystem just keeps selling really, really well. Continuously impressed by that. There are no incentives left there, right? No incentives left, but still selling. Getting into the Web3 roundup to get up to speed with everything else. Before we get into the main headlines and a discussion on those, we had there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Visa and MasterCard have given AI agents access to credit cards. I saw Sammy report on that just yesterday. That's pretty interesting. Had two Prime, one of the largest digital asset derivative firms in the world, decided to stop dealing with ETH. They kind of wrote this little thesis out about why they think ETH has been performing so poorly, and they're just going to focus on Bitcoin now. I thought that was pretty damning. To be honest, we also had the Blockchain Group, Europe's first Bitcoin treasury company, aiming to acquire $24 billion worth of Bitcoin by 2033. 21 shares filed for a spot SUI ETF. Plasma announced a partnership with Uranium Digital to bring the difficult to trade commodity on chain. I've been speaking about Plasma a lot. I think it's something to really keep an eye on. Also, we've spoken about Uranium Digital. I think it's super interesting that commodity will be tradable in some way on chain, because traditionally very, very difficult to get exposure to that in general. Charles Schwab announced crypto trading will come to the asset manager within 12 months. So definitely going slightly more mainstream. Freight Technologies has signed an agreement with an institutional investor to raise up to $20 million through convertible notes to buy Trump. I thought that was pretty entertaining. Again, this is very big news. Athena announced a partnership with Telegram, making it the only other dollar asset available on the Telegram wallet aside from USDT. We've spoken at length about the relationship between USDT and Athena because of the way Athena operates, where a lot of the demand for Athena is coming from USDT. So that's cool to see, or good news for Athena. Stablecoin giant Tether reported a profit in excess of $1 billion in the first quarter of 2025. And finally, on the yapping side, Aptos announced $100,000 of monthly rewards for Akito yappers. So if you're yapping, got more opportunities to make some cash. That is the Web3 Roundup to get up to speed with everything that is happening in the space. Brad, before we get into the main stuff, there's a whole kinds of stuff. The last 2 days have been packed full of news outside of the headlines. Feels like things are really heating up. Before we get into the main stuff, yes, we're going to get into the launchpad. Yes, we're going to get into Bitcoin. We're going to get into the movement controversy too. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we get there?
No, I'm getting lambasted in the comments by Kooky.
Oh yeah,
I'll bring it up whenever we talk about the Boop stuff. He's on the platform. Yeah, no, I'm just like looking through other headlines. Like for me, it was a pretty slow day. Obviously, Boop is the thing that took most of the attention because it ate up the headline. But I saw that Avi Eisenberg, who's the guy that was like notoriously behind Mango Markets, was sentenced to 4 years on child exploitation material. So like for people, yeah, for people who don't remember the lore there, he famously quoted what was it? He's like he executed a very profitable trading strategy. Was the tweet that he said when he just exploited the Mango Markets contract. Like
I knew that much, but I don't know about this other stuff.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, but apparently he just got sentenced to that. But I'm looking through other headline stuff. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Again, my attention was all on the Boop stuff, and we're already going to cover that.
Gosh. Okay, so more crime. Basically, it seems crime season's kicked off a little bit of time ago. But just the usual financial crime might not be enough for some people. Once you get away with the financial stuff, you might seem to want to go a little bit more serious. Pretty disappointing, to be honest. I mean, we'll get onto the movement stuff in a bit, which is kind of disheartening, I think. But Funky, just want to check in with you first before we get into the main stuff. We're going to get to that. Is there anything catching your attention here? Otherwise, I've got a couple of bits.
Yeah, just think it's interesting that Aptos is doing the $100,000 a month thing on the post TGE leaderboard, right? I don't know if that necessarily because of the success that Polkadot's had doing the same strategy. In fact, I just finished second place. 3 weeks yapping. I got all the way to second. So it was a nice little payday and getting some extra dot to add to the stack. So it's, I wonder how many other post TG projects are going to just throw cash at this thing to get people to come out and start educating, talking about their ecosystem and what's going on there.
Great point. I think that's the exact same amount as Polkadot as well, right? Polkadot put 100K behind it, and now Aptos have come up and put 100K behind it. I genuinely think it's been a good value add for Polkadot to put that out.
I was gonna ask you guys that. So like, how do you think the quality of that has been, and do you think they've done a good job of curating their actual audience around that? Like, we reviewed ours, right? We have a board. We looked at it and we're like, yeah, like we could do some things to tweak it, right? To remove certain people. You can actually like parameterize the actual algo, your specific algo a little bit. So there is some maintenance that can be done on by individual teams. But it's still, it can feel like it's farmy. But like, do you guys feel like the general output is good?
Well,
I think
go on, Funky, you go first.
No, I was just gonna say, I think in general, what we see is there's a bit of consternation on the part of the people who are new to the ecosystem, right? Because they're coming in, they complain that, oh, all the Polkadot OGs are the ones who are kind of just rising to the top because, and part of it is just because we have connections that have already existed for a while. Yeah, we already have a network effect. I think that some of the stuff is pretty good. Some of it is terrible, admittedly, like because they're talking about things that were in the past or no longer part of the network, like parachain auctions, for instance. So some stuff, it's just like, I'm sure you see the same thing, Brad, with Mega ETH, right? Like that some quality is good, some is not. What has been great though, and I'm just going to offer this as a shout out in general to anybody who's listening. If you are a larger yapper and you're outside the Polkadot ecosystem, we need good quality people who come in. ICO Beast, shout out to ICO, has done a fantastic job. He actually had a conversation with the person who's leading the initiative just to kind of give some constructive feedback in terms of what may help bring in some outside voices, larger accounts like you guys or whomever, because if we get more of those educators in, that's going to help get us outside the echo chamber, get us additional, other eyeballs that are maybe not familiar with Polkadot. So I think in that sense, it needs to be a little tweaked.
Yeah, getting penetration outside is always the harder part. Like there are definitely certain there's bubbles. Yeah, there's just bubbles throughout all this stuff. You see it in the social network connections, right? You're probably like front and center inside of your like specific hub. If you look at the social graph that is on Kaido, Yeah, and there's like a broader social graph within that. Like if you go to the CT page, right? That's CT. That's the main conversation, and then you have pockets of conversation with each of these ecosystems. It's really hard to get outside of that. So unless you have someone inside of that main CT one, which like ICO Beast is probably starting to get into that world. Yeah, it's hard to get out there.
Yeah, that would probably be the only thing I'd say. I'd say there's two things happening. One, yes, people will farm it, which is kind of annoying, but then and that is where it's the protocol's job to curate and just double check that the people on the leaderboard are producing useful stuff. So irrespective of how high the rewards are, there will be people farming it. So that's that kind of the protocol's job. But then because the rewards are so high, I do think they managed to attract a number of more valuable accounts whose opinions were more respected to make a sincere attempt at evaluating it and creating some authentic content. In the end, that's kind of what you're just trying to do, right? Like, can you get some reasonable people making a decent go? You can't control it as a protocol, so you might put someone else might put the 100K out, and if no one picks it up, if no one who has a reasonable voice, who makes a sincere attempt at covering the ecosystem in a proper way tries, then it's kind of 100K gone. But I think it's worth the risk because what Polkadot has shown is that, okay, for example, ICO Beast did pick it up. Funky's been producing Polkadot content anyway, so whether or not he was incentivized to maybe put a bit more of effort in, maybe he was, write some more extensive stuff, produce some good content, which was then also picked up by the other people. Like, well, let me piggyback on this stuff that Funky's written. So it kind of creates that flywheel. Like some of the stuff we've done for Polkadot got picked up on by people because they knew about.
Oh no, man down. You too, Funk?
I think I'm good on my end. I'm on my hotspot,
Okay.
not the Wi-Fi though.
Gotcha. Poor guy. So, well, I guess we can keep chattering while he's away. And if it does stay away, he said that the fallback plan is everyone listen on Spaces. So if he does die, then that's what we shift over to. So, okay. So what's your perspective on what he was referring to? He's talking about like modern markets, position within the Polkadot like vertical, because like, but their thing was a sponsored thing, but it also penetrated into that, right? So maybe you can expand on like your interpretation of that as someone who's native to Polkadot prior to that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the guys have been doing a great job with the Polkadot exploration series that they've been doing in terms of just covering specific aspects. Like, they've had several different sections on hydration, which is the main DeFi chain, and all the things that are happening there, for instance. And then what we see, like I think I just caught Sammy doing this yesterday, where they'll take those clips that have been excerpted from the show, and then they'll quote post those and kind of expand and elaborate on whatever it is that they're talking about, which is just, again, a great opportunity for those larger accounts like Sammy. He's got like 70,000 followers to kind of tap into what's already out there, just using that and then kind of adding, an opinion, an additional voice to the conversation, which I think is only going to broaden and enrich the dialogue, especially when it's coming from really high quality content, creators. So to me, that's what we're trying to do, trying to orchestrate, is getting more of those people involved. I don't expect necessarily you to start like doing this because of your connections to Mega ETH. And I think this gets to the heart of what you were saying the other day about you kind of pick a vertical and something that you're really strong in, and you kind of niche down into that. And then you can offer those general opinions and continue to grow your account from there. But I think for those mid-range people who are looking to that, just kind of expand their audience and maybe tap into a new community, it's a great opportunity. So I hope to see more of it.
Yeah, I'm in a unique position because like, but I think it can be both things. I think ICO tackles this in a good way where like you're just honest about it, and if you're just honest about it and say like it's an educational thing, right? It doesn't have to be like a senseless bull post thing. Just like get on the board. I see a lot of people that if you click on their names are on like 19 boards because they literally will just like tag a bunch of like eligible things, and they're not really value add, I would say. Although like I guess you kind of need some of the just like the random bull posty stuff. Anyways, just like complete the circle of vibes. But yeah, like for me, if I were to do any of that stuff, it would just be purely educational shit. Like, I finally dug into this stuff. Everyone's been tagging me on Jam, so like maybe I'll talk about Jam a little bit and say X, Y, Z about it. But yeah, my position inside of another chain also complicates some of those things. I'm trying to see what if old boy can even hear me or see me. He's not responding to either my DMs too. So I guess we'll just carry it on. I'll just start talking about Boop. That's one of the headlines we're talking about. He said he wanted to lead with that. So maybe I can even, no, I can't stream. So the headline itself is like, so yesterday Boop was launched. Boop is a launchpad on Solana that it was created or at least raised by who is Dingaling, the old Azuki, famously in the ecosystem for a long time. The thing that is interesting about it is the mechanisms that underlie it and like the incentives that are in place to get people to launch some shit. So the reason everyone started sharing it yesterday is because everyone had the incentive to do so, right? If you were on the Kaido leaderboard, we don't have the exact formula because like I'm like top 10, top 15, whatever in mindshare yaps, whatever. But I was a tier 3 person, whereas like some people who were below me were tier 1. So I think there's some kind of algorithm that's in place based on like how much you do in the meme coin arena, which I don't do any of. Anyways, there was a large portion of the actual funds that are the token supply, because it launched with a token Boop, that were available to people if you claimed it, and then immediately launched a token. The nuance is that whenever you did the launch, it would be tied to your Twitter and verified by your ex. So these people that were launching this token,
I think we can't be heard on Spaces. Yeah, because Oxy's trying to tell us in the comments. He said we need to unmute. They can hear B-Check on Spaces. I think because he's
okay,
the main feed. Okay,
yep,
all right. See ya.
Yo, can you hear me, B-Check? Yeah, are we switching over to Spaces? I mean, we were, and then they said couldn't hear us, and I was asking you to see if we should switch here, but I didn't get any response. So, you yeah, just gonna come here, emergency switch.